So this is a continuation of week 13, and then we'll collapse it with the week 14, right? And then we'll wrap up with this training. So we have talked about public domain topic discovery. So one of the important way for you to discover hot selling topic as far as the publication of a public domain book is concerned is to check out for the top guys that are already in the business of writing public domain work. So how can you fetch out these guys? All you just have to do is to go to that same Amazon platform or go to the Amazon website, amazon.com, and then type out any of the top selling public domain work that you know, and then check out for the guys that are doing very well in the public domain area, and then follow them. So as you follow them, you have opportunity to know when they are uploading their next public domain work, right? So let me show us exactly how to do that. So let me type the Pride and Prejudice that we already started using in the last video. So Pride and Prejudice. So one of the top guys when it comes to public domain is Penguin. Yeah, so Penguin Classic. They are into public domain big time. So if I spot any of their work, I will show you guys on the spot, so that you guys will know how they go about it. So Penguin Classic is a publishing house. It's more like a publishing company. So they do a lot of big time publications and all of that. And as a matter of fact, you see this book. If you check out when this book was written in the 1990s. You understand? But someone is still publishing this book someone published this book as at 2023, and the person sold some copies. Imagine that. So when you are publishing a public domain, you are not the author of that work. So on the author section, you will put the original author's name. You put the original author's name, and your own name will go in as a contributor. So whatever contribution you make to that work, you will state it. So if you illustrate the book, you will add your name as an illustrator. If you annotate the book, you will add your name as an annotator. If you translate the book, you will add your name as a translator, right? So that is how it works here. This time around, you are not the original author of the public domain work that you are publishing. And if in a situation whereby you couldn't find the original author name couldn't be found, be it on the website, because there are some public domain work out there that nobody knows the original author. In that kind of situation, for the author name section, you will add anonymous. You will add anonymous, right? So that is one of the way. And then when you go to the illustration sections, or sorry, the contributors section, you can add your name as a contributor depending on what you did. Is it illustration that you did, or you make annotation to the work, or you create a translation version of the work, or whatever? You state it in the contribution section. So Penguin Classic, this is one of their products. This is one of their product, Penguin Classic. So if you open this up, you will see. All right. Anytime you see Penguin products, they will state it here, Penguin Classic. So Penguin Classic is a big publishing firm that you can follow, to know when they like to if when you go through their author central, you will get to see what they have done, the current book that they are working on, and all of that, and then that might inspire you to know how to position yourself. Yeah. So I think that is just that. So the author name is Jane Austen. You know. All right. So let me just open to probably one of the book that I worked on, Frankenstein. Fran. All right. Yeah. Mary Shelley. I worked on this book. Very competitive at the moment, but I was able to sell some copies of that work. So Frankenstein. All right, let me scroll whether my book is still visible. I might have been lost in the crowd because the competition is crazy. Competition is crazy. So my work is not found on the page one. But if you look at this author, you see that by Mary Shelley and John Colhart. So the John Colhart is the person that um okay, and like this person now you see annotated. So this person annotates this version of this book, and then this other person, I'm looking at the different stuff that people did. So there are some people that do illustration, there are some people that do annotation, and then there are some people that do translation and all of that, right? So depending on the one you want to do, you can choose it. And by the time you read through the Amazon policies on the public domain, you will understand exactly how to go about that. Probably let me just open this thing so that you guys will really understand what I'm saying. Because if you don't get this thing, please don't move on to publish public domain because you might get your account terminated straight up. So stay away from it if you don't create time to read through their policy. So let me just open up to that section. All right, so here is it. If you look at it now, I don't know, probably you guys will be able to know this. Uh Public domain. So when you come to public domain, I type public domain on the search bar and then I open this public domain content. So you see annotation, sorry, translated, original translation, annotated, original annotation, additional content like study guide, literary critics, detailed biography, and historical context, and then illustration. 10 or more original illustration relevant to the book. So you take out time to read all of this so that you know exactly how to position your work. Please take out time to read all of this. If you really want to publish public domain, it's a simple and straightforward stuff. But if you don't understand how to go about it, you get yourself into issue. Yeah. So let's move back to what we intend doing for this. That's for topic discovery. Yeah, so check out top guys that are doing business in the public domain section, and then you will see what they are doing, and then you position yourself accordingly. Let me show us one guy that is massively into public domain. So let me type meditation by um let me just type meditation by Marcus Aurelius. Yeah, meditation by Marcus Aurelius. There's one writer. Yeah, look at this guy, James Harris. These are the kind of persons you can follow. James Harris. James Harris is a big time public domain writer. So you can follow him to understand how he does his writings and then possibly see the next book that he's publishing and all of that. So if you follow him and he upload any recent work, Amazon will send you email notifying you that he has uploaded new content. So you are a publisher, a fellow publisher. So you will get inspiration to know exactly how to proceed in that direction. So check out for so many other persons out there, and you definitely spot them out and then follow them to know what they do, and then possibly get inspiration from what they do, and also let that inspiration influence how you do your own business, right? So James Harris, I just remember the guy, so you check him out, and there are other guys, classic Penguin Classic. They are not. It's not an individual per se. It's a publishing house. So it's quite difficult to be able to know exactly how they go about their whole stuff. But Jim Harris is an individual, and this Marcus Aurelius is also. I don't know whether it's a real Marcus Aurelius or it's just one author that has taken that name for himself or whatever. Yeah. So, but I've been following this James Harris, so I love what he does, and sometimes I get inspiration from his work so much. Yeah. So, so when you look at this James Harris, you will see all the public domain work that he has done in a book of 5 rings. I wanted working on this public domain book, but I got so busy I couldn't follow up with it. But I have a book on this later from a Stoic, and I've sold a good number of this copy for myself. And then I also have which other one? Okay. No, I also this meditation. I wanted working on it, but I was caught up with the competition, so I stay off from it. Which other one? Later from a stoic. Yeah. So all you just have to do is to click on follow. Click on the follow button here, and then you will start getting email notification from Amazon whenever James Harris make any recent publication, right? So that is just how to fish out big guys that are doing this public domain stuff and follow them up. And you can also use that project Gutenberg to get inspiration on the books that readers are downloading on a regular basis, and all of that. So from there you can get inspiration and then know exactly how to go about. So back to these, we will cover some important rules that you need to stick with. So some of the important rules is that um, stay away from highly competitive public domain work. Stay away from it because it can be highly competitive. Yeah, can be highly competitive. And another important rule is that you should run ad because you're not the only person working on public domain. And Amazon also upload public domain work themselves. So imagine what the competition is going to look like, right? So stay away from highly competitive keywords and then run ad for your public domain work. And when you do illustration, make sure that your illustrations are visible and eligible, right? And some other rules that you can grabs, by reading through the Amazon policy themselves. Yeah, so as soon as you go through the policies, you get to see other rules that borders around publication of public domain. So the week 14 is advanced book publishing business, right? So study guide is an interesting aspect of publishing, but currently we won't be talking about summaries because Amazon have ban the publication of summaries, right? So this one is automatically out of our content outline, right? So advanced email and all of that, email marketing, and this one is let me probably I will cover in another video on this, or we'll do a live section on this. But for the study guide is a simple book that you can write. Let me show us. It sells very well. I publish a number of public guide. And a sorry, I mean study guide, not public guide. Let me go to the Amazon platform to show us what study guides are. So if I go to books and then I type study guide, let me just type study guide. Yeah, so you see, here are my god, here are wonderful study guide keywords that you can work on. So you see this AFOQT study guide 2024 to 2025. So if you open this up now, let's see what is the condition. Search result is massively low. But how about the profitability? Let me use my other. I don't have Mesh Publisher. Let me just install the productor for Mesh here so that I'll be able to see productor for Mesh by Amazon. Yeah, productor for Mesh by Amazon. Let me install this Chrome extension so that I'll be able to see the BSR ratings and all of that. Yeah, production for Mesh by Amazon. So I'll add this up to my Chrome extension. I'll click add extension and it will be automatically added to my Chrome. And then from that extension, I'll be able to spot BSR ratings for books and all of that. So, all right. So I have the um, productor for Mesh by Amazon added. So let me go back to my Amazon page and then refresh. Probably I'll be able to see the BSR ratings for all of this book, and then from that I'll be able to know how profitable they are, right? So yeah. So one good thing about publishing study guide is that um, you can make a lot of money from it. Reason being that they are seasonal. Yeah, all of these things are exams. Yeah, so um, the seasons where people wrote those exams, you can make a lot of money if you have good content published for that exams and at the right time. So this exam is Air Force Officers Qualifying Test. That is the meaning of the AFOQT, Air Force Officer um, Qualifying Test. So you are creating a study guide that will help people that want to take this professional exam, that will help prepare them towards that exam. So that is the essence of the study guide. So there are study guide for people that want to take professional exam in electricians, electricians. You can create a study guide for electricians, study guide for pilot, study guide for nurse, study guide for massage, study guide for people that want to do different professions. So you create study guides that cut across all of those professions, and then depending on the season in the United States where these guys want to take those professional courses. Some of them really want to prepare themselves towards that professional course. So if you have a study guide available for that, you can take a market share for yourself. Like just like when students are preparing to write JAM, you see that the sales for JAM past question and answer automatically increase, right? So that is the same concept here. So just like the sales of JAM form increase, that is how the sales of setting study guide increases, when the seasons where those exams are written comes, So some of them are written in summer, fall, winter, depending on the duration. Yeah. So if you have a study guide written for that particular period and then it coincides with when they're about to write the exam, and your book has the number one is on the number one page, it has a good quality, good visibility, and all of that. You sell a lot of copies. Yeah. So that's how it works. And every year you can keep selling. So to search for study guide, all you just have to do is to come. You saw how I did that search. So there are strange study guides that you will never imagine. Yeah. So the way I do it is that I will just first type study guide, and as soon as I drop in study guide, it will bring up all the related keywords. So from here, I'll begin to pick, go through the suggested ones and then get to know whether it is something that I can do. And as a matter of fact, you can create all of those study guide using ChatGPT. Yeah, ChatGPT does that a lot. So I create a number of study guide using ChatGPT. So you look at this one. This one is 55 search result. And then the profitability is what we check out using the BSR. Yeah, look at this study guide. This study guide have been selling massively. And this brand as a whole, this Matthew Bowling, has a lot of study guides. So let me open this brand name or this author name to show us how this author has decided to position himself as a study guide expert. So he has a lot of books, on study guide, So you can decide to camp around study guide like this, So you write all sort of study guide. You make yourself a brand. And if you look at the cover designs are the same. So he has an ASVAB study guide, Paris study guide, you know, GED study guide, L LC LCSW clinical exam study guide, CPHPU study guide. A lot of study guide. Just look at it. This is a brand. Just like those jam past question and answer. You see them have the same kind of design. Someone create all of those stuff, and all they just do is that they keep updating it, right? So this is a brand. So you can follow this person up to know what this person is doing. They recently published study guide that he just uploaded. So you can check that out by sorting out the publication date. So which of them Yeah, so you look at this HESI exit exam. So you can check this out to know how profitable it is, right? And if it is something you feel you can work on, you can follow the same strategy, go through the table of content of this work to know how the work was structured or the work is structured, and then try to model the same. Try to model the same. I've written a number of study guide and it's very easy to work on, very easy, very, very easy to write, using ChatGPT. So get inspiration. First, understand what the study guide is about. Go to Google and browse on HESI exam exit. So just search for this first, not study guide, exit exam. So just search for only this on Google. And from that search, you get inspiration to know what that study guide is all about. And then from there, you move to ChatGPT and start creating content. And whatever ChatGPT gives to you, it won't be strange because you'll be able to channel the creativity of ChatGPT, as far as that is concerned. So let me open books and paste that keyword that I just copied. Exit exam. You see the search result very low, and this person is even running ad. And this book was published on the 9th of June 2024. You see, so it's a recently published work and all of that. So you check it out and then you get to know how to. So let's open the table of content to see what this author has here. So if you look inside the work, you will get to see what the author is doing. So let's scroll down. All right. So you see how the author arranges work. Very simple. If you want to do a good one, you can pick that jam past question and answer that you use, right? So go through it and then you understand how to arrange your own stuff. So there must be a section for answers, there must be a section for questions. So you see this one, you say answer keys and explanation for text one, so there should be practice tests. So go through other good guys that have published content relating to a particular study guide you want to work on, and then follow their model, follow their structure. That is how you do it. You replicate what somebody have done that is working effectively for yourself. Yeah, so that is all about study guide, and the whole concept is the same. Yeah, the whole concept of publishing study guide is similar to that of publishing a regular book, right? So that is that for this. So just like I told us earlier, we are not doing summaries because Amazon has strike out the publication of summaries and workbook. So we have covered study guide and have shown us how to fish out for keywords for study guide, just like you do search for regular study guide. You can do for regular books, you can do same for study guide. And then that's that. So advanced discussion. So let me just do a quick video on this to tell us how this work, and all of that. Yeah.